Alright, no, nothing on that topic. We're going to move on to our next topic now. About a week ago, Netflix came out and said they bought the. So basically, Ryan Johnson owned Knives Out. It was his baby. No studio owned it. It was his own property, his own material. He wrote it, he produced it. It's his baby for $40 million. Netflix, though, he got rid of the studio that did the first movie. Came out in 2019. Very good movie. Great ensemble. Fun little film. And he said, okay, I'm gonna shop my baby around, and who wants my baby? Netflix said, we're gonna give you $450 million to make 2 and 3. Knives Out 2 and 3. And Ryan Johnson said, you got my baby for $450 million. And now, that is the only stipulation they gave Ryan Johnson was you have to make it for at least $40 million each film. Only $40 million. So Ryan Johnson just became very, very successful before he even shot a roll of film for this. These movies could suck. The first one was great, but really he can make 2 awful movies. And this week we learned that he's getting $100 million. And Daniel Craig is getting $100 million just to come back and play the role again as a detective. $100 million. I understand why he doesn't want to play Bond anymore. Why would you? He can retire after this. $100 million. Everyone freaked out when Robert Downey Jr. wanted more money when he re-signed to do more Marvel movies, like Civil War and Avengers Infinity War and Endgame. He got like $50 million, 40 or 50 million. And people were like, what? An actor getting $50 million? Are you insane? Well, Daniel Craig had everyone beat.
Now, is that $100 million per?
No,
or
that's
is that
not.
just $100 million for both?
$100 million for both.
So it's $50 million per.
It's still $100 million.
Well, technically it equals Downey in the $50 million per.
But Downey got $50 million for the rest of Civil War, Homecoming, Infinity War, Endgame.
Okay, Homecoming he was in for like what, 5 minutes?
No, he was in I think about 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
So
in a 2-hour movie.
Here's what I think they should do. In Knives Out 2, they should give Rian Johnson absolutely no part in it. They should give it to some new guy. And it should be renamed Spoons. And then when everyone says, this isn't what we wanted, the guy just says, oh, we subverted your expectations. You know, I hate Rian Johnson. I don't care. Like, Rian Johnson, I don't like him. I don't like him as a person. I don't like him as a filmmaker. I started watching Knives Out, and I stopped because, I don't know. I'm very much against this guy. This guy is, like, pure toxic to me after what he did with Star Wars. And, you know, the only thing that I can hope for is, out of spitefulness, is someone does to him what he did to Star Wars. And that's about the only thing that I could hope for. So I am starting the petition for Knives Out 2 to be all about spoons. The murder weapon needs to be a silver spoon in the library at 2 a.m. And the dead person is Rian Johnson.
I like Rian Johnson's film Brick with Joseph Gordon-Levitt. That was like his first independent film. Looper with Joseph Gordon-Levitt again. Bruce Willis. That was a really good one. Sci-fi, low budget. And what else did he? I Don't Mind the Last Jedi. You know, I don't really blame him.
Gravity in Space.
I don't really blame him. I blame the studio and the producers. Like, yeah, go do whatever you want. Okay, you didn't have a roadmap for 3 movies. You literally said, go do whatever you want. So, he did what he wanted. And you guys didn't back down at all. You guys said, yeah, sure, yeah, sure, yeah, sure. I don't blame the guy. If a studio said, yeah, Matt, you can do whatever you want. Okay, here's the money. Go do whatever you want. You're going to do whatever you want. That's not your fault. That's the studio saying, we don't have a roadmap.
It shows the problem that I have with that is that, he did whatever he wants.
Mm-hmm.
And he had the right to do whatever he wants according to the studio. The problem is that you didn't give a crap about what you were doing because you didn't care about how your film would impact the other films in this is. It's not like you were coming in and doing Knives Out. And they said, do whatever you want. This is the rough story. Want you to do a murder mystery thing with knives. Go have fun with it. Here's all the money to do it. That's not what they did. They said, you're coming in to do Star Wars in the second one of a trilogy. You know the start point. They gave him probably a rough end point of what it was.
No, I mean,
they probably said you can't kill Rey.
Yeah,
you can't kill.
Finn.
You can't kill Finn.
And Poe.
Yeah, you can't kill those.
Okay, that's it.
And that's probably about it.
Yeah.
So that's rough enough.
Yeah, and he did it.
But it's just like, but at the same time, it's just going like, that just shows that's why I dislike him personally, because it's just like you came into something, and you didn't care.
Well,
you came into something that other people do care about, and then it's like you walked into a kid building Legos, and you kicked the Lego over and destroyed it.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't blame him because the studio didn't have a roadmap. If you don't have if you're a studio and you're like, yeah, we're making a trilogy, here's beginning, middle, end. Well, you don't have a middle at the time of after doing The Force Awakens. We know you don't have an end because your end, you just hired a different director. Colin Trevorrow was supposed to do the third one, and he had his own script, his own Mamie. That was also different than the first two. And they threw that out, but he had his own script. And it's like, and even the studio and some of the cast members said, yeah, there was never a roadmap.
I agree with that. The studio failed just as much as Rian Johnson did. But the fact that you as a person can't come in and recognize the situation that you're in and give and do your job well enough so that way the first part of the next movie after you is having to retcon and fix half of your movie away?
Well, no,
that's a problem.
No, I blame more on that on JJ then, because JJ decided and then retcon stuff and then saying, okay, let me go from here now and try and continue rather than let's retcon this, let's retcon this, let's retcon this. Oh, we're going to bring in...
I don't blame JJ at all because the stuff that he retconned and had to change was stuff that was so horribly done in Rian Johnson one. So if Rian Johnson just gave, like, if you said that he gave a, 5% of a shit about what he did, if he just gave 10% of a shit about what he did, then JJ wouldn't have had to do half the crap that he had to do. This is turning more into something about Star Wars, but it's just going like...
But,
I think Rian Johnson is fine whenever Rian Johnson does whatever Rian Johnson wants to do, and something that only he has to do. Do not put Rian Johnson in charge of a franchise that relies him on doing something in something else. If he built something, like Knives Out, good on ya. That's your stuff that you do whatever. I have a personal thing that I hope someone comes and ruins it for you, but that's just me being a little shit. But... like, my big thing is that he's fine when he does that. But he's shown that he can't do the job when he's brought into a franchise to be the middle. The middle, okay, out of the prequel trilogy and the original trilogy, which are the best movies out of those three? If you had to pick the best prequel movie and the best original one, which one do you choose for it? Like, one from each. Your top prequel and your top original trilogy Star Wars.
Prequel, The Revenge of the Sith.
Uh-huh.
Original, Return of the Jedi.
Mm-hmm. So you chose the last part about each of it. I choose my original. I'm with you on Revenge of the Sith because Attack of the Clones was so crap when it should have been the best. The meat of the trilogy is the second one. The prequel failed. The original gave the best Star Wars movie, in my opinion, which is Empire Strikes Back. That movie was near perfect, in my opinion. I love that movie to death. Because, for me, as, when I saw it, the good guys always won. And I saw that, and I was going like, oh, so when Luke's about to beat Vader and do whatever, it's, oh, he just got his hand chopped off. Oh, he just fell down a hole. Oh my god! The bad guys won! That was huge for me. Of, the bad guys winning and all that stuff. And let's look at, The Last Jedi. The bad guys won at the end. But everything in between it was crap. I don't know. I mean, this is about Star Wars when it's about Rian Johnson, but
anyway,
I guess he's so toxic that he didn't.
I'm really they're gonna be shooting this soon, so I'm more curious about the cast. This is obviously the only returning character is gonna be Daniel Craig playing the detective. So the ensemble for the first one was excellent. You had a lot of new people and a lot of older, recognizable names like Jamie Lee Curtis in there, and Christopher Plummer. That was his last film he did. So, I'll be curious what kind of, you had Chris Evans in there who was great comedic relief. After seeing him 10 years as Captain America being more serious, you kind of forget about, before all this, he was a comedian in Not Another Teen Movie and the original Fantastic Four movies. Johnny Storm being the more, comedic relief. Mm-hmm. So it was nice seeing that. And Ana de Armas, who we already talked about recently with the new Bond, she was the main role in there, and they hit her in the trailers. So I'll be curious, in the ensemble, old actors they get, legendary actors and fresh faces. What other Marvel actors might show up. It'd be cool to see Robert Downey Jr. pop in, or Elizabeth Olsen or something.
Yeah, crime stuff is really good. There's a reason why one of the most longest lasting stuff besides soap operas are crime TV shows. Yeah. NCIS, Law and Order. That's why I'm rewatching Bones at the moment. Because they're nice, simple stuff where it's going there's conflict, there's the investigation, there's the drama, the suspense, and there's the out. Yeah, if you're able to do that in a really interesting way, cool. Yeah, and he's going to get a lot of money for it, so good on him. I just don't like him.
And I think he got shows like Mindhunters and True Detective, with crime and solving crime. Mm-hmm. So, that area is hot right now, and luckily and even got Kenneth Branagh, who did the Murder on the Orient Express, the Death on the Nile movie was supposed to come out by now, the sequel. Once again, another murder mystery film. So those movies are hot right now. But, we'll see. I'm sure in the next couple of weeks or months we will get a cast lineup.
Yeah. Good on you. The cast, when looking at it, if I can take away my Rian Johnson bias against him, what he had and the cast ensemble, from what I saw of the movie, that's what made it. Mm-hmm. If you put in lesser quality actors and that, you're not going to get what you got. So, I could see why they're paying Daniel Craig a ton of money. I can see why they're doing some of the things that they're doing. And, if they made that, here's the thing. The one thing that made this good was the same reason why The Westing Game is one of my favorite mystery novels as a kid. And that's about murder happens, It's all about a group of people that are stuck together in this area that's trying to figure out what's going on and everything else, and kind of the suspense that goes along with it. That's very interesting to me. So the basis and the premise of the movie was very well done. And the ensemble cast is what made the characters, the different personalities that are in there and everything else. That's what's going to help move along the plot of these stories better. Now, if he completely changes it and does like whatever, not an ensemble movie, and just does like a Jack the Ripper-esque thing of where the dude's trying to solve like a Jack the Ripper-esque crime, I don't think it's going to do as well, because the whole thing about why the success of the first movie was the ensemble cast. If you take away what's successful and then say we subverted your expectations, it's going to fall flat. And, you know, he got the contract for that stuff. I'm betting that if Knives Out 2 doesn't do as well as Netflix hopes it does, they're going to renegotiate in there and say, you're getting less money now.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't say in the article if he's going to shoot 2 and 3 at the same time and just put them out like one, 2022, third one in 2023, or they're going to shoot one of them and then wait a couple months, shoot the next one. I don't know if each one is going to be like a completely different crime, or it's going to be like one giant crime that's going to be split into 2 movies.
Well, since I didn't finish watching it, how did it end? Like, was there was it wrapped up?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's wrapped up with a bow. So, moving on. I guess it's one of the things where it's like where they order a sequel based because the show like something did well, but it's just going like, well, we already reached the conclusion and the end of the story. So it's just like
that's why I think only Daniel Craig, since he's the detective, he's gonna be probably investigating another crime or another family. That's why I'm saying a whole new cast. Just like Kenneth Branagh, he came back to play the detective in Death on the Nile, but that's a whole new cast too. So yeah, we'll see.
And that's why you played Daniel Craig, the big bucks.
Yeah. Well, like I said, now he goes from Bond to this, and he got richer. I'm sure his wife, Rachel Weisz, is very happy.
I'm going to assume that Daniel Craig's sooner or later just going to end up being like taking like the Viggo Mortensen route. I'm just going like, I'm just going to, I've earned my money. Now I'm just only going to do what I want to do.
And I think that's what really
because he was not happy with playing Bond. So if this is a project that he wants to do and he's going to get paid a ton of money to do it, man. I'm happy for Daniel Craig to do it because he's a great actor.
Yeah, and it definitely shows his range. Like in Knives Out, and the other Steven Soderbergh film, Logan Lucky. I mean, I like him as Bond, but, when you look at, like, even back to, like, Road to Perdition, like, yeah, you have range. I'm not saying you're still my favorite Bond so far, but, I want to see you do other stuff. So, good on him. Get that cheddar. And he's going to have a lot of it. Even if you don't solve the crime.
And always remember to like, comment, subscribe wherever you are. The podcast is available wherever you want to get your podcast. If we are not there, let us know, and we will get there. Remember to like our Facebook page, Attack Bat Productions. Thanks for listening, everyone.